Well, there have already been lines at early voting locations around the Chicago area and across the country, and there have been some changes to mail-in voting since the last presidential election in 2020.
Social media is filled with various reports of trouble at voting locations as we face an era of misinformation. And we want to help you sort the truth. Matt Dietrich is the Public Information Officer for the Illinois State Board of Election. He joins us now. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Micah. Good to be here.
Glad to have you. First of all, why is all this information running rampant more so than before?
Well, there is a lot of interest in this election. I think everyone knows that. And there's just been a lot of discussion about it. It's been an unusual election cycle as far as the candidates for president changing on the Democratic side. So just a lot of interest. And it's being reflected right now in the early voting numbers. We've got well over 1.1 million votes have already been cast in Illinois. Just over 600,000 of those have been early in-person votes, but also over 550,000 vote-by-mail ballots have already been returned and voted. So, and we've still got another week for people to request those vote-by-mail ballots. So we could see this year, this could be the year where voting by mail surpasses early in-person voting as the preferred form of pre-election day voting for Illinois voters.
All right, so
we're kind of interested to see that.
Let's talk about some of the things that people see on social media that are purported to be evidence of problems with the voting system. I think there was one floating on TikTok in Schaumburg where a scanner supposedly wasn't working, and that was being shown as evidence that people weren't being allowed to cast their ballots. You actually have looked into some of these claims and have a nice little Twitter stream going, helping people understand what's an ordinary issue and what's a real issue they should be worried about.
Right. Well, we actually have a staff member who is stationed at the Illinois State Police State Terrorism and Intelligence Center. And one of their jobs is simply to scan social media, scan mainstream regular media for any type of inaccurate election information, whether it be intentional disinformation, maybe just a mistake. But this was one that came to our attention early this week. We just had the expansion of early voting in the city of Chicago and in Cook County. And suddenly there's this flood of posts from an early voting location in Schaumburg. And the allegation was that because voters were being told that a machine was down and they were still able to vote their ballots, but they would leave their ballots with the election judges who would then feed them into the tabulator later when it was brought back online. The allegation was that, well, they're going to destroy our ballots.
And that's not true.
And it's not true at all. It's a very routine thing. It happens all the time election judges are trained in what to do in that case.
That's why there's a Republican and a Democrat
there watching it happen.
Yeah, so. Matt, I think a lot of people are nervous this year. Like you said, there's a lot more interest than has been maybe in the past. Let me ask you this. If you haven't registered, oh my God, I've been so busy, but I am going to vote. Is that okay?
Yes, go to an early voting site and you can register and vote at the same time. Be sure to take 2 pieces of ID. Those pieces of ID have to confirm your identity and also your voting residence. So typically we tell people take a government piece of mail that's been delivered to you. Usually your pay stub will have your home address on it. Credit card statements, those kind of things, but a piece of mail, anything that will, a lease that will show that you live where you live. And then your second piece of ID can be, your driver's license, obviously, or even if you have moved from a different location and you're registering, you can use your driver's license to confirm your identity.
So people might hear all of these things and say, oh my gosh, it's so easy then to purport to be somebody else and cast a ballot that you shouldn't. What steps are in place to make sure that you're only counting ballots that are legit?
Well, when you register to vote, there are safeguards in place. Your information is checked by your local election authority, your county clerk, to verify that you are who you say you are. And actually, voter registration, we have to have that that address because we're going to send you a voter card, or your local election authority is going to send you a voter card to confirm that you're there. But the election judges are trained during the early voting time and on election day as well for what types of ID they can accept.
Yeah.
And if a voter comes in and needs to register, let's say on election day, and they don't have the right ID, you can still cast a ballot, but it's going to be a provisional ballot until you provide the required documentation to complete.
So you cast your ballot
registration.
and then you come back and show them your ID pretty much, right?
Right, that's
Okay.
correct. You
quickly,
don't have to
Matt-
go back to the polling place. You'll have a week to get it to
Gotcha.
your county clerk or the Chicago Board of Elections, whoever your election authority is.
Okay, and I was going to say three ways to vote: by mail, postmarked by election day, by drop box, and in person, right?
That's correct.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Matt.
Happy voting.